It's the I Can't Mom Today podcast with Heather, the new mom, and Vera, the seasoned mom. I Can't Mom Today.
Hey, this is Vera and Heather back again with another episode of I Can't Mom Today podcast. Hi, Vera.
Hey, Heather. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Jerry just got his second COVID shot today.
Ooh.
So we'll see. My mom had a reaction to her second one.
Oh, no.
But she's okay, thankfully. But no, she said she had a low-grade fever and she was really fatigued for several days. So he's preparing himself. He's already it's lunchtime right now where I am, and he's already cooking something so that he'll have it for dinner later. But it's good. That'll be good. He'll be vaccinated, and I think I am going to be able to get vaccinated earlier than most people my age because I'm on the immunosuppressant stuff. So that'll be good. So then hopefully the two of us will be vaccinated. My parents will be vaccinated. I have several friends, who are older who are getting vaccinated. So
nice.
So that's encouraging.
Yeah. I feel like I know a lot of people that are I got vaccinated. I don't even know, some of them I'm like, why are you getting vaccinated so early? You're not.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know their history. So not
you don't want to grill them.
But I'm just like, how did you get it? But also at the same time, it's just kind of, I know I'm part of an earlier group because I have asthma and I'm overweight and all that kind of stuff. So I know I could potentially get it earlier, but I'm just like, I don't get it eventually.
Yeah. Well, luckily you work from home and so you're able to do a lot of stuff from home, which is good. You don't have to feel like you need to be exposed to an office full of people all the time and all that kind of stuff. So that's good. So with you and your asthma and all that. So how are you guys doing? How's the fabulous Baker man?
He is doing good. He's he got really sick on Friday night. He was on weekends we bring him into our bed to sleep because we don't want to have to deal with getting up in the middle of the night. We're just let's just sleep in as late as possible. Yeah. And Friday night around midnight, he just started throwing up.
Oh.
And went through 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no.
And I was just thinking the other day, I was like, you know what? We've been really fortunate. We haven't had any stomach issues with Baker, no ear infection, stuff like that. We've been really fortunate. Yeah.
What do you do when he gets, because I used to get stomach sick a lot as a child, and Luke does too, especially with his migraines. What do you do for Baker when his stomach's upset?
We're nothing. Because we haven't done that. We haven't experienced this. The only other time he's thrown up is when he was the day we brought him home, he threw up. And then since then he's maybe thrown up once, but it wasn't anything crazy.
Okay.
But Friday it was bad. He was just, it was so bad. And we're we had to change sheets and clothes a couple times. And finally we got a bucket and a little Tupperware thing. And then I made him go take a bath. And because I know that for me, the only reference I have is when I was wasted in college. I knew if I felt nauseous, I was let me go take a bath and it'll calm me down. And it did. It totally it got me to where I needed to be. Don't suggest that to everybody because, water is dangerous when you're wasted. But
yes,
anyways,
exactly.
But that's what I would do when I was in college. And so he went and had a bath at 3 a.m. and he was totally fine. And he was in the bath for an hour. And then he gets back to the bed and within 20 minutes is throwing up. I'm like,
oh,
but
my mom, I'm sorry, go ahead.
He seemed fine on Saturday. He didn't want to eat. Yesterday, he was getting a little bit better where he would, eat. He was eating more, but he still didn't want to eat a ton. But he stopped throwing up. So we're assuming it was just a 24-hour bug or 12 hours. So.
Yeah, probably. Well, luckily, most of the time, those things don't last more than a day or two. And so, because that's when I was a kid, and it was so annoying because my dad, he has this thing about how your eyes lead to your stomach. Don't know where he got that from. But so we weren't allowed to watch TV. If I was stomach sick, I had to just sit in my room, couldn't read, basically just sit in my bed. And my mother would give me orange Jello, which is disgusting.
I prefer
And
cherry, but I see.
gross. And to this day, I don't like Jell-O because of that. But then a pediatrician told her to do a tablespoon of ginger ale every 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I literally lived for that every 15 minutes. Like she'd come in with a tablespoon. I'd be like, because you're so dehydrated from throwing up, and you'd just be like, oh, please, for the love of God, just give me that freaking tablespoon of ginger ale now.
Yeah.
Plus, it was something to do. So that helped. And so I've not the Jell-O, ixnay on the Jell-O A for Lucas, but I've done the ginger ale, and that seems to help. But then I had my pediatrician's nurse tell me, oh no, you need to wait 2 hours after they throw up before giving them anything, even water.
Huh.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I couldn't do that to him. But water sometimes too, though, I feel like water when I'm throwing up makes me feel more nauseous.
Because it's heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it feels heavy. That's why the ginger ale, plus, ginger has that, anti-nausea.
I'm guessing commercial ginger ale does not have that much ginger in it.
No, probably not. You're best off getting an all-natural one if you can. But,
which is disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, well, it takes some getting used to. It's definitely not the same as commercial. But you can get like the commercial that it's least, better than others. But anyways, I
gave him soda water. So I have LaCroix or LaCroix, whatever, however you want. Yeah. So I have that, and he calls it tickle water. And so he had a couple sips of that, not much.
Yeah. Well, just enough. I just feel like the bubbles, do the trick there a little bit. So anyway, I was just curious because I think a lot of people, everybody has their different little thing that they do when your stomach's upset because it's so hard because you can't keep stuff down. So
yeah.
But warm bath for your kid, if you can watch your kid in the bath, not for when you yourself are like, wasted.
No, I do not advise unless somebody's there to monitor you.
Exactly. Unless somebody can make sure you don't drown yourself.
Yes. Or like, they have those, have you seen the baby rings that they put around babies' necks and like they float in the water? It's like a little inner tube.
Oh, no. For the bath?
Yeah. Huh, it's like supposed to be super relaxing. It's like almost like what are those things called? The flotation chambers or whatever. But yeah, they just it doesn't put, because it doesn't like hurt them. But obviously I never did it. So I'm not an expert. So like check with your doctor first.
Yeah.
But they had these like blow up inner tube things that go around the baby's neck to support its head and keep it above water. And then they just like float.
Man, I wish they had that when Luke was little because I think he hated taking a bath, but I think he might have liked that.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like it would be soothing and nice.
Mm-hmm. So
all these things that they didn't have.
Maybe they have those for drunk people now. I don't know.
Yeah. Could be. You never know.
Yes.
So anyway, but I figured we'd bring up the fact in case if you're a member of our Facebook group, you may have seen that Heather has been embarking on a new declutter quest.
Yes, because so I have always been somewhat of and not always, but like in my adult life, I have been more organized. And I think most kids are pretty disorganized and like everywhere with everything. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, I really like to organize things and like get things organized, but to find the time right now to do it with a child and working full time and it's just hard to do. And so when I moved into the house a little over a year ago, we just moved in and threw stuff in because it was just,
you're in a hurry.
Yeah. We had to do it. So I never had the time. And so I'm taking off next week from work to try to get some more stuff done around the house because I'm so over just shit being everywhere. Like I hate that I can't go to one place and say, this is where this thing is. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't I'd like to know where everything is too. Yep.
I need to know where everything is. And so, and Brad's the kind of person that's like, oh, well, we need some things here and some of those things here and some of those things. I'm like, we don't though. We don't. Yeah. Let's just condense everything down. Mm-hmm. And so that's my goal. I've done one drawer in my house. No, two.
Pictures are two drawers, and the pictures are absolutely stunning.
I wish I would have taken a before picture because it was like just a mess and just trying to find things. It was just chaotic. And so that's really nice. We're trying to do our pantry. I've posted on our Facebook page a while back about the pantry that we hate. There's like an insert in the middle. There's like shelves in the back, insert in the middle that covers up those shelves in the back that you have to bring forward. And it's just horrible. And I'll repost it on Facebook again so everybody can see how horrible it is. So we've been trying to, Brad and I were like, let's just pull the trigger and let's get the big shelves put in. Take that middle piece out and put the big shelves in. So we've been back and forth with a home place, and trying to figure out, because that's where the cabinets came from that the previous owners got them from. And so we've been back and forth with trying to order shelves, and they're like, oh yeah. I was like, well, what about this? I mean, and this is like days. And the person's been super nice, and she doesn't really know the whole thing. She's been working with the actual manufacturer. And so I was like, okay, thank you for all this information. My question is what about that board in the back that goes top to bottom? Like, how do we get rid of that? And she's like, oh, you can't get rid of that. And I was like, oh, that's fun. So what do I do with the shelves that are going to be a whole piece that I'm now going to have to, she's like, like I'll have to cut something out. So now that's back on us to cut these out. And the shelves for 5 shelves is like $500. I was like, holy cow. I know, right? Like, what are these made of?
Yeah, seriously.
I think we're just gonna figure, like, either hire a local person to get it done, or try to do it ourselves. Brad thinks he can do it himself. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's our pantry is an absolute disaster. Like it's a nice sized pantry, and it's a full on pantry. You can walk in. It's a walk in. You've seen it, and
I helped you organize it the first time. Remember?
Yes. Well, see, that's the thing that to fill everybody in. Like in the past, when I moved into this house, you helped me a great deal. Like you'd come over and be like, all right, we're getting all this shit together. We're organizing this, and then we're hitting the pool. So
yeah, I mean, motivation for both of us.
Exactly. No, it was great. And so you were very helpful. So I need you to come back and help me do my pantry, because it is such a hot mess, my pantry. And
yeah, I'm done. I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. I think I'm going to make a side hustle out of this.
Yeah, well, and that's really, I think, awesome in a way too, because I think that's why that can be a side hustle, because people need, it actually helps you to have an outside person come in and look at all your stuff and be like, okay, do you really need this? And can't you put this here? And did you notice you have all this, you have 5 of these?
Yeah. And I feel like my journey has been in this direct, like, it's been something that kind of I've been interested in, and over the years have dabbled in here and there, because I used to work at Forever 21 when I was a kid, and they organized everything by color. And I hated it then. It makes so much sense now. But when after I worked there, it makes sense. But it was because they had like 3 shirts in medium, 3 shirts in large. And so like, of all these patterns, and they didn't have a large amount. Like most stores have like, okay, we have 5 shirts. They had like 75 shirts, and I'm like, what? So you had to do it by color. And it was super frustrating. But I took that in my own home, and I've done that for 20 years in my own home, and organizing by color and whatever. And so I've been wanting to do Baker's Closet like that. I finally did his, and I have tried keeping up Brad's, but he just is such a mess monger that he doesn't keep it up. So he finally went in. This prompted some change in him as well, where he like decluttered some things, because he's a hoarder, and he's such a hoarder. And so he's decluttered some things, and decluttered or got rid of some clothes in his closet. And I went in there, I was like, oh my, it looks so good. But I started putting everything in color. He's like, you just couldn't resist, could you? I was like, no, I couldn't.
Well, what do you do though? Because this is my problem, is to get motivated to declutter. Like obviously, like you're setting aside time for next week, and I'll stare at this one area, or like the pantry, and just think, I really need to do it, but I really don't feel like it. So
the biggest thing is you're going to have, like everything else in your life, you have to make time for it. It doesn't just happen. Right.
Right.
So that would be my first thing, is set aside some time. And this could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes when you make your coffee in the morning, whatever. And just start like in little sections, like start moving things around. Oh, I see that chips are on 3 shelves in there, so let me put them together. That's like super easy. And that's how I started, was I just started moving things together and grouping them together. And now I'm on to the buying because and I've read the home edit books, and they're amazing. They give great tips and stuff like that. But of what it could look like, but not and it does give the process, but I need more than that in their book. And I think most people do need more than what's in their book, but they are truly amazing, beautiful, gorgeous books. So what they suggest is taking everything out and then grouping them together. But you don't always have time to do that because sometimes it's super time consuming, especially your pantry. Yes. And they say to start out, don't start in your pantry, start on a drawer, one drawer, get that drawer done, and then move on to another drawer.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It's
maybe just like a shelf like, I just want it
done.
Yeah. Well, part of my problem is because, I'm on the special diet because of the stupid RA. Yeah. I'll buy things because I want to try. I'm like, ooh, it's gluten-free chickpea pasta. Well, I've discovered I hate gluten-free chickpea pasta.
Yeah.
But, I got a wild hair and bought 2 boxes of it. And so now I have them sitting in my pantry. Don't know what to do with them. Then, or Jerry will buy me for Christmas. He's one of those people that likes to buy food for people for Christmas. Uh-huh. And he went to Costco. So I've got these like huge things of like gluten-free snack or like beef jerky, which are delicious. Mm-hmm. But little old me cannot go through an entire thing of a Costco sized thing of beef jerky or Costco sized thing of sausages.
Okay. So what they tell you to do, like take some of it then. So put some of it in a container and that's going to be your daily, what you're going to go through in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. And then on the shelves that you don't usually access all the time, or even on the floor, depending on where you want to go, put a bigger basket and that's your back stock. So that's stuff you're going to refill what you have in your pantry.
Okay. Cause I have like a gluten-free section, but the big, huge bags and then it's hard to see anything. So then you forget that something's in the bottom of the gluten-free basket. And then months later, you're like, I forgot I had those coconut cluster doohickey thingies, Costco size bag from Christmas before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would put away your back stock in in a basket, but you're going to label the basket too. Like maybe like gluten-free back stock or, Vera's back stock or something.
Vera's back stock. Do not eat it. Teenagers that come to my house.
Yes. And then you can have a section and people do it differently. Some people have a section for, tight gluten-free. If that's a dietary restriction, they'll have dietary sections. Some people do it by pasta or meal type or canned goods or vegetables or, they just have different like fun foods, stuff you shouldn't be eating every day, healthy foods.
Yeah.
It just depends on what works best for you because everyone is going to be so different. And that sucks, right? Who wants to hear that? Right? I want an answer now.
I know. That's so true.
So it's just working through what you need to do. And maybe you have an accountability partner, friend that you're going to take time and organize each other's pantry.
Yeah. Cause like we were saying earlier, having somebody to kind of help you do it. And it's easier, and vice versa. Like it's easier to go to somebody else's house and help them rather than look at your own poop. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
One of the things I came across in one of the organizing articles I read, it said to make up a story that I don't know about this, but it might work for some people. Mm-hmm. Make up a story in your head that inspires you to keep doing it. So you pretend like you're moving overseas to this like amazing chalet or whatever and can't fit all of your possessions. So you make up that little story in your head to motivate you. I don't think that works for me, but
no, unless I'm actually moving, forget it.
Exactly. Cause then I'm disappointed because it never happens. Mm-hmm. But again, for some people that might work. And then also one of the article I read said to try and reward yourself. So like if you clean out your bathtub, which I know ours often ends up being filled with clothes, clean out your bathtub and then, have a nice, take a long bath and with a glass of wine or whatever, to do something for yourself that's nice after you've done the declutter of whatever it is.
Yeah. So the person that Vera and I follow religiously, Shalene Johnson, she's kind of closing some gaps on some other parts of my life that I think that is connecting with so it's like brain, your brain and how it works and how clutter and disorganization can your brain just goes on a loop. And so it just keeps thinking about that thing. So until that thing is cleaned and organized and done, it's taking up brain power. So you're not able to do these other things. And so that's kind of prompted me to do some of it. But also, so she has ADHD that she had diagnosed when she was, I think in her 40s. And I have always thought that I have ADHD. And so following her with this journey of what she does and things that go on, she's like, this makes total sense why this is organized this way. But then when somebody does something else that's out of place, I lose it. It's totally true. And I showed Brad that, he's like, oh my God, that is you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's interesting to try to take all these different pieces and put the puzzle together and what works best for everybody and what makes sense for everybody, and something that you can keep up too. So you don't want to do something that, if you are expecting your kids to bring their shoes up to their room every single day.
Yeah. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've got to get. Luke's room is an absolute disaster to the point where, and this is shameful, he sleeps in the guest room because his room has just it needs to be cleared out of a bunch of toys from when he was like in middle school. It's just, and it's not a very big room. So I started to help him one day. We spent a couple of hours or whatever, but again, especially lately, because my joints have been bothering me, it's hard physically for me to do any of that stuff. But I'm preparing myself to tell him because he's going to be going to college next year. He's got to get that freaking cleaned up. Yeah.
Take it with you or it's being donated.
Exactly. Or it's being donated. So I've got to figure out how to approach that and get that taken care of and give him some tools to what I do a lot of times too with him, especially, or even like when I was younger, I would start with like, look for what you can throw away first, trash. And then after that, then look for laundry, things that can go straight in the laundry. And then I'd start like picking away here and there, but it can be very daunting.
Yeah, for sure.
So
completely daunting. And I've always been the kind of person that just clears everything out. Like I'm like, here's my closet. Everything comes out of it. And then we put everything back. And it feels so nice.
It is nice. It's time consuming though. God.
But man, when I was single, no kids, no kid. It was so glorious. I could just sit there and take everything out and drink my wine.
And it would stay there.
Yeah.
Because even the significant other sometimes tends to move things.
Oh God, I can't even tell. I'm like, where did you do with this?
Exactly. Well, and Jerry, he's ADD, I'm sure of it, and he'll lose something or misplace it because he misplaces stuff all the time. And then buys another one. So like when we moved into this house, literally he had 6 hammers.
Oh yeah.
Because he would buy one, lose it, leave it somewhere, and then buy another one and then find the original one. And it just keeps going on and on. I mean, the amount of money that he wastes on buying new things because he loses the old one it's got to be in the tens, if not hundreds over a lifetime of thousands of dollars.
Oh God. Yeah. 100%.
Whereas I'm like, okay, there's a spot. Like we have the little hooks where you put your keys when you walk in the house. It's right there. But he cannot, like maybe 10% of the time he remembers to put his keys there. Otherwise, half the time it's like, where are my keys? Have you seen my keys? I don't know where my keys are.
Yeah.
If you just put them on the stupid hook when you walked in the house.
See,
you would know where your freaking keys are.
Brad does I'm going to clean and I'm going to put some stuff away. And he puts it where it's not, you would never think to put it, but he puts it there. I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, oh, no. Cool. So please don't ever touch anything again, please.
Exactly. Just don't do it.
I know. He's so sweet though, like trying to help clean up, but man, sometimes it drives me more bananas.
Oh yeah. Same thing with Jerry for sure. Well, and
then I like drive him bananas with my shoes. Like I just take off shoes arbitrarily throughout the house.
Oh, I used to do that until we got the puppy. Now it's like, no,
you got to keep it.
Shoes. Goodbye.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sure that there are things that I do that are annoying as hell. But
yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, there's probably only like one.
Yeah. Please. Name them all on one hand, maybe.
Yes.
Because I'm perfect.
As we all are.
Exactly. He literally said to me today, he's like, I was going to call you because he was out and about getting his second vaccine. I was going to call you and see if you wanted to meet me for lunch. And I was like, yeah, nah. And he was like, yeah, I figured you probably didn't want to get dressed. So that's what it's all come down to. Yeah. What? Put real clothes on? Who wants to do that?
Pass.
Exactly. Just to go to lunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what DoorDash is for. Come on now.
Exactly. Well, if you want to give us some of your organizing tips or you want to reach out, I'm happy to help assist you with any of your organizing questions. I'm not an expert, but I'm happy to problem solve with you.
She is good at it. No, and I will say from personal experience, you've helped me a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Organize stuff.
It's my first review.
That's right. 5 stars.
Yes.
Heather Tune is the best ever.
Yes. And you paid me in alcohol, so you are a paying client.
That's true. Alcohol and pool time.
Yeah.
Which was selfish on my part too, because I was there. But yes, I Can't Mom Today podcast at gmail.com. And then of course, Facebook, I Can't Mom Today podcast, and Instagram and Twitter and
all
YouTube.
The things. TikTok.
All the things everywhere.
I might start doing TikTok. Maybe I'll start doing TikTok and doing some organizing on there.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Because if you can film it, can't you like film yourself and then make it look shorter? Like
I have no
idea.
I don't even own the app. That's how much I have little of an idea.
Well, yeah, go ahead and explore that. And then we can look at your organizational TikToks.
Okay. Sounds good.
That'd be fun. Yeah. You get on that next week when you're not doing your regular job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll have like tons of time, and you don't have a 3-year-old.
It's gonna be so fast. I know it's gonna be like a blink, and I'm like, it's already over. I haven't got anything.
Exactly, totally. And so, don't forget to rate the podcast too, please.
Yes. If you have any show ideas, let us know because we're happy.
Yes, something you want us to talk about, or an issue, or that you want us to reach out. And remember, we can keep you anonymous if you'd like to remain anonymous.
Yes.
Until next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.